What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Monday edition of The Squeeze. I am Tyler Conium. It is the last day of betting for February. Of course, I don't do videos on Tuesdays. So today's the last day of February. We ended January up 16 units, which was unbelievable. We're about even in February. So hopefully tonight's a good night. If we get back to even on this week, then we'll be up 3 units on the month, which is, that's the way it goes when you're betting every single day. You're not going to have 16 unit wins every single month. We did very good in January. And as long as we're not losing it all back, then I'm happy with that. Yesterday should have been a 3-0 day. Jake Paul loses his fight to Tommy Fury. I don't think anybody saw that coming. I didn't think that this is when the gravy train was going to end. You can argue, is it fixed, is it not? I guess it's not. But I thought that Jake Paul was going to be the lock for that. I had him on a few personal plays on parlays. I had him with Michigan, who had an unbelievable comeback win. It could have been a very good day if Jake Paul won his fight, but he didn't. So instead, we go 2-1, and because it was juicy, it was minus 140, and we paid that. Only up 0.6 units on the day, but we did hit the Columbus Blue Jackets, Minnesota Wild. Minnesota Wild, you might start getting sick of me making videos where the Minnesota Wild, I'm betting the under, but they're an under machine. Just bet under every single time. Just bet it blind. I'm going to start doing 4 bets on days where the Minnesota Wild are involved. And then we had the Seattle Sounders in MLS at minus 120. They won by 4 goals. They won 4-0. That line closed at minus 154. We're 2-0 so far in MLS. And full disclosure, I'm not a massive MLS fan. I followed TFC sort of in the background for a few years. I want to get into it this year, especially with the League Pass on Apple TV. But I think there might be some money to be made here. I'm not sure how, especially early on, how sharp these books are going to be. Because, again, Seattle minus 120 on the money line, won by 4 goals. So we'll see. But let's end February on a good note. 2 NBA bets and an NHL bet. We're going to start in 2 of these bets, Boston and Philly, are based on the ending of their game this weekend. If you saw it, if you didn't, incredible game. Jason Tatum hits a 3-pointer with 1.6 seconds left. Joel Embiid launches from his own free throw line, and it went in, but it didn't count. But it was an unbelievably close game, and I think because of that game, that's going to be a catalyst for this game now. Starting with Boston at New York. Celtics come into this best team in the East, 44-17, 20-10 on the road. The New York Knickerbockers are 35-27. They are 17-15 at home. Jaylen Brown is not going to play in this game for personal reasons. I'm still taking the Celtics minus 2.5. That's minus 110 at FanDuel. The Boston Celtics have won 8 of their last 10 games, 3 in a row at Philly, at Indiana. This is the last game on the road trip before they're at home to Cleveland next up. And look, the New York Knicks, they've won 8 of their last 10 games as well. They've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight. Beat New Orleans, at Washington, at Atlanta, beat Brooklyn, beat Utah. Don't care. It's the Boston Celtics. I think they're going to be flung forward by that Jason Tatum buzzer beater win. Derek White is expected to fill in for Jaylen Brown. It's a decent enough replacement. Celtics are 5-0 ATS playing on 1 day's rest. 5-0 ATS versus a team with a winning record. 7-1 ATS in their last 8 overall. And like I said, you can look at the next two. 4-0-1 ATS in their last 5. They're at home. Overs 5-1 in the last 6 meetings. What does that mean? Celtics are 5-2 ATS in their last 7 meetings in New York. You can call this more of a gut bet, a gut feel bet. Celtics are 33-27 ATS this season. Knicks have also been good. This is going to be a great basketball game. Excited to watch this game tonight. But the way the Celtics played against Philadelphia, they are, at this point, looking to make a run, win the Eastern Conference, get into the playoffs. Give me the Boston Celtics, minus 2.5 or minus 110 at FanDuel. As I mentioned, I think the loss is going to cause Philadelphia to project themselves forward. I think that's going to really piss them off, especially Joel Embiid. I think that's what's going to bring them to the forefront, and I'm going to take them minus 6 against Miami. Now, when you look at this, Miami, not as good as they were supposed to be this year. They're 32-29, only 13-19 on the road. Philadelphia comes into this 39-20, 24-9 at home. This game is being played at Wells Fargo in Philadelphia. The Miami Heat have lost 4 straight games, lost at Charlotte, lost at Milwaukee, lost at Brooklyn. This is now the last game of their road trip at Philadelphia. Not a fun place to end your road trip whatsoever. Coming off the loss to Boston, previous to that, the 76ers had won 6 straight. Memphis, Cleveland, Houston, Brooklyn, New York. Heat are 0-4 ATS in their last 4, 0-7 ATS in their last 7 after allowing 100 or more points, 0-7 ATS in their last 7 after scoring 100 or more points, and they're 0-5 ATS following a straight-up loss. You look at Philadelphia, 4-0 ATS in their last 4 home games, 5-1 ATS in their last 6 games overall. They've played really well against teams with a losing record. And then you look at the injuries. No injuries to report for Philadelphia. And then you look at Miami. Kevin Love, questionable. Tyler Hero, questionable. Kyle Lowry, out indefinitely. Jovic, early March, maybe. And Miami's offense is ranked dead last in the NBA, number 30, at only 108 points per game. Field goal percentage is 29th. Their three-point percentage is 28th. Their rebounds is 20th. They're ranked 26th. This is not a good basketball team. This is not what we expected whatsoever. I like for Philadelphia, they're back at home. They are looking to, well, they're still at home, looking to rebound from that brutal loss to Boston. I think they come out just absolutely fired up and ready to go. They had a big lead against Boston there. It didn't go their way. I think Joel Embiid has a monster game as well. If you're looking for some props, jump on that. We're going to take the Philadelphia 76ers at home, -6 for -110 at DraftKings. And your last bet of the day is in the NHL. We've done quite well this year betting NHL totals, and we're going to keep that going. Another great game. We've got the 35-18-3 Vegas Golden Knights on the road in Ball Arena in Colorado, taking on the 33-19-2 Colorado Avalanche. Vegas very good on the road, 17-5-3. Colorado very good at home, 15-9-1. ATS Vegas not so great, 27-32. Colorado 30-27. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna take the under. Vegas on the season, 31-23 to the under. Colorado, 33-20 to the under. Both of these teams have had 2 days rest, so you're going to have the best goaltenders in net. You're going to have Hill for Vegas, who's 14-5-1 with the 2.55 goals against. You're going to have Georgiev in net for Colorado, who's 25-12 with the 2.63 goals against. And I think we're going to see a low-scoring game here. 9-1-1 to the under in Golden Knights' last 11 road games. 5-1-1 to the under in their last 7 against the Central. 8-2 to the under in their last 10 Monday games. You look at Colorado, under is 4-0-2 in the Avs' last 6 when their opponent scores 2 or less goals. Under is 4-1 in their last 5 after they've allowed 2 or more goals, so they're rebounding quite nicely as well. Against each other, 4-0 to the under in their last 4 meetings in Colorado, and under is 5-0 in their last 5 overall. And then you can even get into looking at the home and away. When Colorado is at home, they're 14-13 to the under. On the road, Vegas is 13-12 to the under. So I think we're going to see a tight matchup. Again, we're getting into this, NBA and NHL. We're looking at around 20 and under games left. Teams are going to start turning it on. They're really looking at playoff seeding. I look for the topper end echelon teams when they play against each other, a lot more unders. When you look at the bottom barrel teams, you're looking at more overs. I think that's just the trend we see versus teams that are really fighting versus teams that don't care so much. So I really like the matchup of 2 really good teams against each other going to the under. So give me under 6 for -120 at Bet365. I also like the push potential there. So those are your bets for the last video of February. Of course, I take Tuesdays off, so we won't see you again until March. So let's run back down this Monday card. Give me the Boston Celtics -2.5, -110 at FanDuel. Give me the Philadelphia 76ers -6 for -110 at DraftKings. And give me Vegas and Colorado to go under 6 for -120 at Bet365. As always, drop a comment if you're fading or following. You can follow me on Twitter at Tyler Conniam for more picks and props throughout the day. TikTok and Instagram for just the picks portions, and audio versions available on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Let's have a good Monday, and let's talk sports.